everyone, I'm meteorologist Mark Collins. It's right whale season along our beaches where the North Atlantic right whales tend to congregate during the winter months to calve off of Florida and Georgia. A bit of a setback for them. Conservation groups had wanted to put a emergency rule in place that would slow down any marine vessels 35 feet or higher to just 10 knots. And that way, if they did come into a collision with a right whale, the damage would be minimized, and moving slower, vessels can typically see the right whales and avoid an interaction altogether. Well, NOAA has declined the request, and that is something that has been very interesting to commercial captains in the area, because a rule like that would put them out of business. Our Gulf Stream, which is about 60, 70, 80 miles off the coastline, that would be about a 7-hour boat trip to go if they had to go at 10 knots. So that would, in essence, ruin their business model because they couldn't get out there to take customers. So there was some controversy. A lot of people were not wanting to see that measure in place. And for the conservationists, they're very worried because the numbers of the right whales are down to just 340. And this all stems back to this incident here, which really got the impetus going when the whale was struck by a boat coming back into St. Augustine, and it killed the calf. And no one really knows what happened to the mother. It was probably injured when it washed up on Anastasia Island. But this is an article that I wrote about today about the emergency rule to protect the right whales. And you can see that the zone here would have encompassed a lot of our areas here. Right now, the current rule stands that only vessels 65 feet or larger have to adhere to that slow speed. But a research group by Oceana found that only 70% of those vessels just don't even follow that rule. So you can look at this website for more information on that. But before I leave you, I want to show you these pictures, because right whales have been showing up along our beaches here so far this month. This is on January 5th, about 14 miles off of Cumberland Island here. You can see a mother and its calf swimming off of Camden or Nassau County. And this one, is this Camden? Oh, this is Cumberland Island here. And this is a 33-year-old right whale and her fourth calf. And they can tell and identify these whales by the patterns of barnacles on their back and the shapes of their fins. And it's interesting because they have these aerial surveys on Cessna planes, and they fly out there and they can find these different whales that make a comeback, and they do census counts on that. So go to newsforjax.com where you can read about the story and even chime in. If you're a fisherman, how do you feel about this? If you're someone that likes to see those right whales out along our beaches, let us know how you feel about this new ruling. All right, enjoy the wet read on newsforjax.com.